Watch us live stream at twitch.tv/Inez27. Live stream times are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. And please support my eBay store by going to seemsgoodmagic.com, clicking on the icon, and purchasing some playsets and singles. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey folks, just wrapped up my second daily that I've done with this deck. Changes from the last one. I added Gorklan Rampagers to the main deck, as I said I would, and added the Boros Charms to the sideboard. Changed them. I got rid of the Oblivion Ring out of side, and I forgot the other spells I dumped out of side too. But today was an interesting spread of decks that I played against. I think it was actually all over the board. I guess there were a couple that were pretty similar, but let me just give you a quick run through of the deck if you're unaware how this works. So this is a deck that just really explodes out creatures. The whole point is to have 3 creatures on turn 2, or just, you know, a million creatures on turn 4. Essentially, the best turn progressions would be a turn 1 Champ of the Parish, turn 2 Burning Tree Emissary, and Hamlet Captain, Mayor, Lightning Mauler, all sorts of just very, very explosive cheap spells. So I like the matches, for the most part, any match with this deck. The reason being because it's just so explosive that no matter what your opponent's strategy is, be it they'll be aggro themselves or mid-range control, sometimes this deck literally just does not give your opponent a chance to do any sort of defense setup or stage any sort of, you know, comparable attack on the backswing. It really is that explosive. So sideboard, I'll just quickly run through that. The Ray of Revelations are definitely for the Bant Hexproof deck. Pretty essential. Really the only way you can beat the Unflinching Courage or other lifelink that they sort of get out of that deck, or just the massive amounts of damage they put through with Invisible Stalker. So Ray of Revelation, pretty essential. Spare from Evil is kind of the questionable one. The matches where I like it were typically Aristocrats, because it got by the Blood Artist, Boros Reckoner, Falconwrath Aristocrat. But unfortunately, that deck also runs Cartel Aristocrat and Doom Traveler, so they do actually have humans. So I'm starting to question Spare from Evil. It can also be good in the Reanimator match, since the only human they have is Avacyn's Pilgrim. And a lot of times you just want to, you can play it in response to them targeting, you know, your 3 creatures with the Angel of Serenity, and your creatures will all get protected. So it's okay in that. It also gets you by, you know, the Thrag Tusk, the Angel of Serenity, the whatever else they're running in their Reanimator list that, you know, you need to get by. So even the Restoration Angel. So it's very good in that match. The Searing Spear, sort of an extra burn spell if Searing Spear is a card that's working well in the match. I can't, you know, like a mirror match or any sort of aggro match where you really just want to nail key creatures like Lords or stuff that gets big fast. So Searing Spear can be good out of the side. Mark of Mutiny, pretty amazing spell against the Reanimator list, you know, stealing their Angel of Serenity. Sometimes it's just all you need to go over the top. Boros Charms for the Supreme Verdict sort of lists, any list that has sweepers that you need to protect yourself from, even like Jund, you know, the Mizium Mortars sort of stuff. Very good in that. Selesnya Charms, once again, more Reanimator. So this is even more justification to dump the Spare from Evils out of side. I need to come up with some sort of plan of what I want to swap these out for. Not that they're worthless necessarily, it's just I don't think that they're up to snuff on the rest of the sideboard. But yeah, Selesnya Charm's very good against Reanimator, any other sort of deck where, you know, they're going to get 5-power creatures and that you can target. So even Bant Hexproof occasionally, you know, not every creature in that list, contrary to popular belief, is Hexproof. It just is Geist of St. Traff and Invisible Stalker that this can't target. So even hitting the String of Rootgeist that they almost always sideboard against this deck, or the Avacyn's Pilgrim, sometimes they're short on creatures, so they need to put their enchantments somewhere. So Selesnya Charm can be useful against that. Nearheath Pilgrim, very useful against the red-green aggro list, very useful against Bant Hexproof, very useful against any other sort of aggro match. So that's kind of the rundown on the list. Yeah, I hope you enjoy these matches today. I'll see you guys later.